Hello my hungry friends, my name is Anna. In 2001, I moved to America from my hometown of Szczecin, Poland to be with the love of my life, Mark. While living in the US, I realized that I wanted to share my passion for Polish cuisine with America and the world. So finally, in 2015, I started a Polish food blog. After my husband retired from the army, we decided to start a new adventure in my native home. We spend our time showing the world the wonders of Polish cooking in our kitchen, and sometimes we shut down our kitchen and explore Poland together to find as much good food as we can. Welcome to Polish Kitchen. Hello my hungry friends! This is Polish Kitchen. My name is Anna, and today we're going to be cooking a Polish poppy seed roll, also known as makowiec. Makowiec is a poppy seed roll that we normally eat and make for special occasions like Christmas or birthdays, Easter, or whatever other important family event is. And you can find this recipe in my Polish Kitchen, My Family Table, or my other two books, Christmas edition, Book of Memories Christmas edition, and Book of Memories Easter edition. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna start, this is a yeasted dough cake, and we're gonna make two rolls today. So we're gonna start by making our starter. And mine, it's been sitting for a while, and it's bloomed, the yeast has bloomed already. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put 3/4 cup of warm milk in here, 1.5 tablespoons of instant yeast, and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And I have done this about 10 minutes ago, and my yeast sat here and bloomed. So we are ready to go with that. And we have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. And to it, I'm gonna add 1 whole egg and 2 egg yolks. So I'm just gonna plop them in here. And to it, I'm gonna add my starter. I'm gonna put this in my mixer, add just a pinch of salt, and we'll start mixing this. And we're gonna make a nice and smooth yeasted dough. And this is quite a dry dough yet, so I'm gonna add a little bit of melted butter, and this is about 2 ounces.
Now, do you recommend using salted butter or unsalted butter for this?
Ooh, good question. So if you're using salted butter, don't add any more salt.
So I have another question.
Yes.
You've been running this channel for years now, and you've never made this particular cake. Why is that?
So that's a good question. I don't know why. I really love this cake, and it's really not that hard to make, especially if you're using a hook and your stand-up mixer. And if you find yourself, or like if you don't have this setup, you can easily do this just in a bowl. Just work it to a dough, and it's really simple. But with the yeasted dough, you have to make sure that it gets worked for a while, at least 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and that way it grows nicely and it's nice and poofy. While this is working, I will show you what I've done in preparation as well. I have 3/4 cup of raisins, and I've just poured some rum over it. You can do, if you don't like to put alcohol in your pastries, you can just do water, or also whiskey or some kind of high volume
But the alcohol bakes off.
It bakes off. You can't taste it. No. We're just softening the raisins, and they've been soaking here for about 10 minutes. They can shortly be drained, and we'll use them with our poppy seeds. So to get you want to check on the dough with me?
Yeah, I do.
And this made a nice and pretty, a dough that kind of keeps together. So we're just gonna let this go for a few minutes to kind of work itself out.
Cool.
For this dough, I've also started preparing our poppy seeds. So I'm using raw poppy seeds today, and I like doing that. I prefer doing that from buying the canned one, just because I have more control of what's inside. And I've noticed that especially the American poppy seed fillings that I've found, the seeds aren't ground up, so you don't really get such good flavor out of the poppy seeds. So it's best to do it on your own, and I normally would buy poppy seeds online because they're not also so easy to find in the store. So for this we're going to be using about 17 ounces of raw black poppy seeds, and I have them here, and they've been, first I put them in a pot, cover them with hot water with about an inch of water above it, just so they're all covered. Let them sit for about 10 minutes to soak. Then I will set them to boil and boil them for about 25 minutes so they become a little bit softer. And as I said, this is a little bit time consuming to make, but it's all worth it. And we'll proceed with this in a moment. Our dough is looking like this. And you're not going to need any more flour for it or anything, but what you're going to be looking for is for the dough to be smooth. And as you can see here, it's still quite lumpy, so I'm going to have the hook work on it for another 3-4 minutes. Oi! And we are at about this level. It's still pretty lumpy.
Is it supposed to be lumpy?
No, it's supposed to be smooth.
Oh no.
Oh, but when you move it around, it's not. See? So now I'm gonna set this aside and have this double in size. So my trick is to start the oven for just a couple minutes, then turn it off, and it stays nice and warm. And cover this with a nice clean towel, and wait for it to do its job. And then we'll work on the poppy seeds. We're gonna assemble the meat grinder. Did I say that we're gonna be grinding these even?
No, you said that you bought you
Oh, that was
ground and then
okay. Yeah, so we have to grind these. So you're gonna need to do the cutter device, and then I'm using the smallest circle. I think I have to do this first because we have to grind these poppies twice, and to get the flavor out of the seed. Otherwise, it's just kind of a gritty sand.
But you can buy pre-ground. Yes?
Where?
I don't know. On the interwebs?
I don't know if you can.
If not, get yourself a hand grinder if you ain't got one of these.
Yep. But this is quite easy. All you do is just turn this on and grind the seeds. And you can see that the seeds are being broken up already. That's where the flavor is. I'm going to switch these bowls out. And I'm going to continue grinding for the second time. Our poppy seeds are ground up twice, and they've now opened up and they're ready to be cooked some more.
Yay!
And again, this is another reason why I like doing this on my own, because I can put butter in it as much as I want. So I got about 4 ounces of butter, and we'll turn this up a little bit, and we're going to combine the butter and honey and our drained raisins, our drained drunken raisins, and some walnuts. And this is kind of open to discussion. You can do it as you please. You can skip the raisins, you can skip the walnuts, but everything is flavor, so why not? Walnuts go in, and honey.
Just here. 2 heapers.
Let the honey melt and mix everything in. We keep this on here just until the butter is incorporated and makes our filling a little bit more clumpy.
That's a technical term.
That's a technical term. A little bit more that it sticks together, and we dry any moisture from soaking and boiling the poppies. And then we're going to turn this off, and we're going to wait for our dough to rise, and then we'll make our rolls. The dough is still resting, and the last thing to do with our poppy seed filling is to take the egg whites that we have left over from making our dough, put them in a bowl with a pinch of salt, and we're going to whisk them a little bit and then add them to our filling, and that's going to make it a little bit more fluffy when it bakes. It's going to poof up a little bit from it, and it's going to give it just loosen it up a little bit. Just until a nice stiff peaks form. And now make sure your poppy seed filling is cooled off since we've been cooking it. And I'm just gonna gently add the whites to my filling. Get every drop of it. And then just fold it in. That's our dough.
Ready meat?
Let's see. Oh, that's nice. So let me make some room.
Or 350.
I'm gonna start the oven now to 350 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius. This is when we take all the guessing game out of the poppy seed making. And I hear a lot of the viewers say that your poppy seed roll splits when you're baking it. So I'm going to show you a trick that's going to prevent that, and your poppy seeds are going to come out nice and perfect. So this makes 2 rolls. So I'm going to take this dough and just fold it in like this, no big deal. And done.
Perfect!
I'm going to cut this in about half. And put this one back in here and cover it just so it doesn't dry. Like this. And now we have to roll this one out to an even kind of rectangle. That looks good, huh? This is going to be our length. And we want to be at probably about 1/3 of an inch. Even roll. I'm going to put this on a piece of parchment paper now. And this piece of parchment paper is going to be essential in our non-breaking of the roll. I'm going to put this here so you can see what I'm doing. It keeps rolling up. And I'm going to take half of this filling and put this on top of our roll.
It's not a small amount, is it?
No, this is how my mom always liked poppy seed rolls, and she always told my grandma, who was our primarily chef, cook in the house, to do lots of filling. So that's what she did. And since she was my inspiration, Grandma, to learn how to cook, and I watched primarily her cook, this is what I do. It is a lot, isn't it?
That's over half your filling.
It's not. I'll make it work. That's why it looks so pretty when it's done. Try to kind of make it even. Okay, now the truth. The truth. We're going to start rolling from the wide edge up. I need you to hold this for me. There we go. And just make a roll. Pinch the edges a little bit so the filling's not coming out. And come to an end. And pinch the edges. Can you see? And then make sure it's sitting on the edge. And now, to make it on the seam, yeah, on the seam. And it looks good already, doesn't it?
Gorgeous.
Now we're going to roll this around this paper. And when we finish, we're going to finish on our seam again. And we're going to leave a little bit of room here for it to expand, but not to the point where it breaks. Yep, here's roll number one. I'm going to just get a baking sheet. Here's my baking sheet. Holy sheet. And make sure it's resting on the seam. There we go. Number one. And I'm going to do the same with the second one. We have our second roll ready. I'm just going to transfer it to my baking dish. Make sure there's a little bit of room to move. I'm going to put these in the oven for 40 to 50 minutes. Last thing to do is to, oh wait, our rolls came out of the oven. Aren't they gorgeous? They're a little bit uneven, but that's what home cooking does. And last thing to do is to ice them. You can just sprinkle powdered sugar on top, but I'm gonna make icing. And to that icing, I guess a glaze. And today I thought since I'm using a orange peel, candied orange peel, I'm also gonna add a little bit of orange juice to my powdered sugar. And I have a cup of powdered sugar here. And a squeeze of orange, squeeze of lemon, and along with some seeds from the lemon. And I'm going to need a little bit of water too. I do need a little bit of water, and just add a tiny bit at a time and mix it. That was probably a little bit too much. That was a little tiny bit too much. Give this a stir. I'm using a brush to break up the powdered sugar lumps. This did come out a little watery. If that happens to you, you can add a little bit more sugar to the thing. Okay, and brush we all go. I'm just going to do this one on the board so it can cut it. You can look inside. A beautiful roll. Go as thick or thin as you like. I'm going to take my orange peel. You can also do nuts or like shaved, I don't have words today.
Almonds?
Almonds, shaved almonds, yeah.
I got you, girl.
Or probably even raisins. Yeah, does that look nice?
That's wonderful. Let me get a nice close-up on it.
Now the moment of truth. I like to cut mine at an angle. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, isn't that pretty?
That's beautiful.
And isn't that pretty?
Don't drool on it.
Yeah, that's our, oh, it's so nice and soft. Dough nicely fluffy and cooked and perfect for Christmas, Easter, birthdays, or whatever occasion you may be having. Would you like some? All my recipes are available at PolishYourKitchen.com, and you can click on the recipe index and browse around and cook whatever Polish food you'd like. And then hit like on this video so we know you're watching, and send us a comment saying what's the issue with your roll. After watching this, no more issues. See you next time. Watch Lego. Here we got
We got it.
Delicious.
It's delicious.